Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today O.N.D.S just filed a current report and I am seeing a few small but interesting pieces of information. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. This filing details some minor stock issuances and legal opinions, which gives us a look at how the company is managing its securities. Let's dive into what this means for Ondas Inc. So this is a Form 8K filing which a public company like O.N.D.S Incorporated uses to announce major events that shareholders should know about. Think of it as a bulletin board for really important company news. The earliest event reported here happened on the 24th of July 2026. This filing is all about things that happened on or around that specific date. This report is for O.N.D.S Incorporated, a company we've talked about before. They are in the technology and communication equipment sector. We can see here that O.N.D.S Incorporated is incorporated in Nevada. This is just where the company was legally formed. This part tells us about the company's stock. They have common stock with a very small par value, which is basically a legal minimum value for the shares. The important thing here is that this stock trades on the NASDAQ stock market, which is a major exchange. Now, we get to the meat of the filing. Item 3.02 talks about unregistered sales of equity securities. This means the company sold or issued stocks, but they did not go through the typical public registration process with the Securities and Exchange Commission for these specific sales. They are saying these sales are exempt from registration requirements, which typically means they were done in a way that did not involve a public offering. This often happens in private placements to specific investors. Item 8.01 is where we find out about other events not covered in the other sections. Here, O.N.D.S Incorporated announced on the 24th of July 2026 that they filed a prospectus supplement for their effective registration statement. This filing is essentially covering the resale of 2583 shares of their common stock. These particular shares being registered for resale were originally acquired by certain stockholders when O.N.D.S Incorporated bought Worldview Enterprises Incorporated. This is a common way to handle stock issued as part of an acquisition. When a company is bought, the sellers often receive stock in the acquiring company. This filing is essentially allowing those sellers to now officially register those shares for trading. And to back all of this up, they are attaching an opinion from their legal counsel, Snell Fordyamp Wilmer LLP, regarding the legality of these shares. This is standard practice to ensure everything is above board. Finally, we have item 9.01, which lists the exhibits filed with the report. Here we see the legal opinion from their counsel and a consent from that same law firm. There is also something called Cover Page Interactive Data File, which is basically information in a format that computers can easily read for regulatory purposes. The report is signed by Eric A. Brock, who is the Chief Executive Officer of O.N.D.S Incorporated. This signifies that the company officers are attesting to the accuracy of the information in this filing. Looking at the broader context, with a market cap of $4.4 billion and a P6.7, O.N.D.S Inc. is definitely a company investors are watching. Recent headlines suggest a lot of market attention, with some analysts calling the stock a strong buy, while others note significant drops from its highs. This filing, while not revealing major financial shifts, highlights the mechanics of how the company manages its stock, especially after acquisitions. The resale of these 2583 shares isn't a massive amount given their market cap, but it does show the ongoing process of integrating acquired assets and managing shareholder interests. The risk I am watching is how closely these smaller stock movements tie into the company's overall investor sentiment, especially given the recent volatility mentioned in the news. What I am actually looking for is to see how these shares are absorbed into the market and if it has any noticeable impact on the stock's price action going forward. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded, like, comment, subscribe, and join our Discord linked below.